Hey, welcome to Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Wally Salata, head basketball coach at Rancho High School, and got a lot of good things coming on. Wally, how are you doing today?
Actually, I feel pretty good now that Christmas is over. You stress out, make sure that Christmas is taken care of, and that at the same time you're putting a tournament together. So the last 2 days have been kind of hectic here at the gym.
We got the 12th year of the Jalen Berger Rio Rancho, or make sure I'm Jalen Berger's All-State Holiday Hoops Classic. Is that good?
Yes, sir. That sounds good.
So Wally, what you know, it's you just put it all together. I mean, this is something that I know that you work really hard at doing, and it's 12 years, and you take a lot of pride in doing this tournament.
I do. I mean, even though it's on winter break, I've done this now the 12th year, and what's nice about it is that our team's been in the finals 7 of the 12 years, and it's just lately that we've actually finally started winning our tournament. I mean, we are the 2-time defending state champs, not to put any pressure on anybody. Not having it last year, but again, we've come a long way since day one. The program has, and I really like the tournament because one, it's the only tournament locally. All the other tournaments are out of town. So if people are looking for good basketball, they should come to our gym because we do have quality competition. We've had it every year, and that's something that I've wanted to have in our tournament. Just because our district later on in about 3 weeks, we've got a loaded district again, and you've got to play quality competition now to get ready for what's going to happen here in about 3 weeks.
Well, while you're on that same thought, you have the Metro tournament coming up, and you got to get prepared for that's going to be that's like 4. If I'm correct, that's 4 days out of 5 days that you play basketball, and it kind of really. This tournament just sets you up for that tournament as far as getting yourself in for districts and basketball. This seems once after the Metro tournament, it seems like basketball just goes so quick after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's we've only played 7 games up to this point, and for us, with these 3 games and the 4 in the Metro, that's 7 games in the next 12 days. And the one thing this year that I had to plan on is. Last year when we did have that short season in April, I lost 8 seniors. So I knew we were going to be young. And so I stacked the schedule early in the season where we went to Amarillo the first 2 games and played Palo Duro and Amarillo, who are right now 9-1 and 14-4. And, it was an eye opener for the players. Then we played Hobbs. We played Santa Fe. We lost to both of them. They only have 1 loss. And then we beat Carlsbad, who has 2 losses. We beat Highland the other night before break. They were undefeated. And then we beat Artesia in the 3rd place game. So, when you're playing 82% of your team, 82% was the winning percentage of the 7 teams we played. I wanted to play those tough teams to get us ready for what's coming ahead. And, if you look at strength of schedule, anybody that looks at max preps, right now we're at 16.7, and the next closest is 10. I think it's Rio Grande, and everybody else is single figures. And that's not going to change just because the competition we're playing is top of the line competition. I've never, as a coach, have gone through the stretch that we're going through right now.
Well, I tell you, this tournament doesn't make it any easier. So, let's kind of break this tournament down. It starts on December 28th, Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and we have Hope that's 3-3 and Sandia that's 3-3, and similar stories to yours. These 2 teams are upcoming teams. They had a tough schedule early, and Sandia's down, one of their key players, but they got some quality guards. And Hope is, Coach Murphy. Hope speaks for itself. They're a team that's getting better and better each week.
Well, the thing about Hope is that they've played in our tournament I think every year since I've been here, and they've won it 4 times. So this is nothing new for them. To open up with Sandia, they haven't played them yet, this year. And that was one thing when I look at pairing up teams is I don't like it when you're playing a team 2 or 3 times or going to be the second or third time in our tournament. So they haven't played this year. So I thought that was a good first round matchup. The other thing that when you talk about the others, there's 4 5A schools. And so what I did is I broke down each bracket has a 5A school in it. So even Hope being a 4A, Sandia being a 5A, you'll see that down the board. But Danny's done a great job at Sandia, and Jim, what he's done speaks for himself. So I expect a very competitive game for a 1 o'clock tournament game. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Well, then the next game is Sandia Prep 2-5 and Santa Fe 9-1, and coming off a loss to your rival Cleveland. But very, it's amazing how good Santa Fe comes in, and how this is a top-notch team in the state.
They are. They when we played them a couple of weeks ago at their place, we were up 20-10 at halftime. I mean, you couldn't write a better script for us. They scored the first 8 points in the first 2 minutes of the game, and then we held them to 2 for the rest of the half. And then the wheels kind of fell off in the third quarter on us. Coach Cole has done a great job building that program. They were up on Cleveland right before break by I think 18 points, and Cleveland came back to 1. But they're going to be a top team in their district. Sandia Prep, I saw Marcos Rivera the other day, and he's telling they're struggling a little bit right now. He lost a lot from last year's team. I mean, they went to the state finals, and so he's rebuilding. And so but again, Santa Fe hasn't played Sandia Prep, and I thought, like I said, you try to give different matchups, each year. I don't like playing the same teams every year or put the same teams against each other. So this one, like I said, even though Sandia Prep is down, Marcos is a good enough coach to have a game plan, and if you're not ready to play, they can knock you off.
Well, then at 5 o'clock, you got Espanola Valley. That's just the name Espanola Valley in any tournament. That they're going to bring people. They're a passionate crowd, and they're an educated, very educated crowd.
What I like about Espanola is that every time they come, it's like a home game for them because they do have more people in the gym than the opponent they're playing. They're 10-2 right now, and they lost to Cleveland again right before break, up by 10, and Cleveland came back and won that game in overtime. But Coach Martinez, I coached him at Rio Grande. Very young, energetic coach, a lot of passion. Kind of reminds me a little bit when I was up and coming. It's hard to keep that passion. I try my best, each game, but he gets the most out of those kids. He's got 2 6'6" players. He's got guards, and that's a winning formula when you can have both inside and out. They're playing against a team, El Paso Socorro. Coach McAnally, he's been up here every year. He started with Coronado, and now he's at Socorro. And so it's kind of, when you have a coach that's willing to come up every year, they don't bring a lot of fans, but he brings a team and they compete, and he loves coming to our tournament. And so again, they're 7-5 on the year. So that should be, like I said, I mean, you have 2 winning teams with winning records. It should, on paper, it says that they're quality teams. But Espanola, like I said, they're very deep. They've got a lot of players. He can rotate, and I expect big things out of Coach Martinez's team this year.
I tell you what, we're going to go to the Green Style Top 10 Plays of the Week and come back and talk more about the Jalen Berger All-State Holiday Hoops Classic.
Johnson. Johnson up for two. He's got it. Stolen away by Johnson. And that sophomore will get two.
Two. Holland fires it ahead to Beatty. He goes right into Benjamin's chest, and then Carr sends it away.
So on behalf of Volcano Vista, on behalf of our Sandy Matadors, on behalf of our Volcano girls, we want to present a $6,000 check for Papa's scholarship. And we want to make sure that you guys understand Papa's no longer here, but he's here. And he's trying, and he's still helping people, and still thinking about people through all of these people right here. And again, we thank you guys so much for being here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Wally Salata, head basketball coach at Rio Rancho. The Rio, I keep saying that Jalen Berger All-State Holiday Hoops Classics is this week. And we've talked about the previous teams. Now let's talk about the team that you're playing, San Pius versus Rio Rancho. It's going to be at 3 o'clock on tomorrow. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I scheduled that at 3 because I wanted to. We've been playing the 3 o'clock game lately, and I don't mind playing the early game and then watching the next 2 games. Sit back and relax. The game, the reason why I did St. Pius is one, I'm an ex alumni or an ex coach of St. Pius, and last year was the first year that I got to coach against St. Pius when we had our schedule set in April, and that was at their gym, and I just thought, let's just put them up against us right away at our gym, kind of play it like a home and home. They're 5-1 on the year. Coach Meyer, who's an up-and-coming coach, is doing a great job with St. Pius, and so I expect a very competitive game because they're coached well. They've got good athletes. Just watching a little tape on them this morning, they've got some size and they got some shooters, and so it's an opportunity, to play against a team that we normally don't play against, and so we're kind of looking forward to playing them.
Well, let's go through this tournament again. So basically, Hope and Sandia at 1 o'clock. This is December 28th, Tuesday. Sandia Prep versus Santa Fe at 7 o'clock. And then we have Esmeralda Valley versus Socorro, Texas, El Paso at 5 o'clock. And then we have San Pius versus Rio Rancho at 3 o'clock. And this is all on Tuesday, all day long. My question to you, is there any getting tickets? Is there any special ways you have to get tickets with COVID or anything, or can you buy at the door, or how's that going to work this year?
Yeah, we'll be selling tickets at the door. So when they come into the gym, there's 2 ways you can park. You can park in the student lot that's behind the gym, or you can go to the horseshoe by the tennis courts where the administration building is. And when they come in, they'll pass the concession stand and go up the stairs. We'll have tables set up there. The one thing, the prices are going to be $5 for adults, $3 for students and senior citizens. We must follow COVID protocol, so fans must come in and wear a mask. Now, when they're eating and drinking, they don't need to have the mask on, but we will be making announcements throughout the tournament just to let the people know that if they're not eating or drinking, they do need to have the mask on. Players and officials have to wear the mask along with the coaches. So we're still in the protocol of COVID. There has been no changes there. As far as the seating, there is no, like it was last year where you had to be spread out so people can kind of sit wherever they want. I'll have the 2 lower bowls open along with the upper deck opposite where you'll be doing the game. There'll be no bleachers out where you'll be sitting, Steve. And like I said, people, they can start coming in. First game's at 12, so they can come in at anytime before the 1 o'clock, and they can stay for all 4 games for $5. That's a pretty good rate for the quality competition that they're going to see for that first day.
So that's it. Truthfully, if you really think about it, $1.25 per game. That if they stay all day, they go.
So when you spend $1.25, Steve, that means you got to go to the concession stand and you got to eat. We have some Frito pies this year. One of our parents, that's been a hard thing too. Is that losing 8 parents? I lost my booster board, so I had to start over again, teaching them how to do things. And one of them was the hospitality room, which I know you enjoy going to, and we plan on having some good food there. So you and the guys that are working the camera, they can come down between games and in that gym classroom and go eat. But I'm excited, for our tournament. Just one, because it's our tournament, and any coach will tell you, you take pride in your tournament. A lot of work goes into it. Yes. I mean, I was up this morning at 5 o'clock thinking about things that I needed to do before tomorrow. And I try to run a first-class tournament. I mean, I don't like doing things halfway, as you know. Every time you come, I think you see how well organized we have the tournament. And like I said, for 3 days, people get to come and watch games. And the only thing I'm keeping my fingers crossed, Steve, is that they say the weather, there's a disturbance coming in tomorrow. Hopefully that snow stays way north of New Mexico, because in the past we've had games that we've had to play two games in a day, and I don't like doing that. But you got to prepare for the worst. So hopefully none of that happens this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break and come back and talk more about the Halenberger All-State Holiday Hoops Classic.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Special guest is Wally Salata, head coach at Rio Rancho. And this week we've got the Jalen Berger All-State Holiday Hoops Classic. And, Wally, you're very fortunate, knock on wood, that, the tournament goes smooth with all the issues with COVID happening in the pros and with also in the college level. And you look at the bowl games right now, I think there's 5 bowl games that have been canceled this week, and probably more. The NBA's having problems, but it's a reality. It's something that we're not, that you face on a daily thing, and hopefully, everybody gets here safe, and people need to wear their masks, just be safe while this tournament goes on.
And that's one thing, I know the players don't like wearing the mask. It's hard in practice, trying to tell them, get your mask up. But, you have to prepare them, for game situation, because an official's been told that if they're running around with their mask below their lips, they could be thrown, taken out of the game. So we preach that. I know that's hard. Basketball is a different sport because you are going 90 feet up and down, but we just got to do the best we can, and like you said, hopefully, all the teams, we have 3 out-of-town teams, Espanola, Santa Fe, and El Paso Socorro coming in, that they, and there's only one that's really staying overnight. That's Socorro, where Santa Fe and Espanola will go back each day because they're not too far away. But what's great about our tournament, Steve, is that, when you run it as a coach, you want a first-class tournament. And if we were losing our tournament, like, why am I doing this? But we've been in the championship game 7 times in the 12 years. And I take a lot of pride in that, because that just tells you that your product is a good product. And not just our team, but the teams that we bring in. If people looked at the bracket, they saw that we're bringing in quality competition. So we're not bringing in teams that, should get, beat by 50, because we want competitive competition. So hopefully this year that holds to form, and we have 12 very good games this year.
Well, I know that great. It starts the year off for me. It was great, but then it also sets you up for the Metro tournament. Let's kind of briefly talk about the Metro tournament. Talk about where you're seated and where you're playing, and how you feel going into that.
Well, I keep saying it every year. Our district is one of the toughest districts in the state. And if you look at the seedings this year, you got Volcano at number 1. You got Atrisco at number 3. Cleveland was number 5, I think. And then we filled in at number 8, and we were 2 and 4 at the time, which that means the coaches have been paying attention to the schedule. We played a very good preseason schedule leading up to the Metro. So we open up with El Dorado, who's a 9 seed. And what's great is that this will be our only second Metro team that we've played. All the others have been out of town. and as a coach, you like that because it's hard when you're playing teams 2, maybe 3 times going into the Metro tournament. Whereas we haven't seen El Dorado, and Roy lost a couple guys, so they're kind of down a little bit, but I know they're going to be right there because he coaches them if they got great players or not, and he's got a good team, so we got to be ready for that. And then the winner plays, Volcano Vista gets through their first game, which they should. You play Volcano, and so this is where I was kind of telling you early on, playing that tough schedule at the beginning will prepare us to play, our district in the Metro tournament. I mean, I want to kind of see where we're at the Metro tournament because, you got La Cueva, who's only lost 1 game. Atrisco's lost 1. Volcano hasn't lost any. Cleveland's lost 2. Highlands lost 1. So the quality of game that you're getting at Metro is loaded, and I like I said, that's a great tournament because there's 16 teams and at 4 different sites, and I think that's kind of a point that the coaches around the city like to see how you match up against other teams in the city.
Well, and also you can't forget about Cibola with Ray Rodriguez. His team is getting better, similar to El Dorado. They're similar. That you can't. Their record doesn't really speak the potential that they have moving forward.
But they played the losses they've had. I mean, they lost El Dorado by 3. I mean, they were in that game. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they've had some losses, but they weren't bad losses. So, and Ray, I've known Ray a long time. Ray's a quality coach, defensive minded, and so you're right. I mean, all 5 of our teams in our district, if you don't come prepared, it's going to be a rough go, and so that's what kind of keeps me up night, knowing that we could see 2 or 3 of our district opponents in the Metro. But again, Ray, I think they're like a 12 seed, or I think they were like a 12 or 13 seed, but I wouldn't want to play them first round just because, I know what Ray brings to the table.
Well, ProView is going to cover all the first rounds, and then just like your tournament, we're going to, as you advance, we just cover each game. So we're going to end up we're going to do it both boys and girls. Not sure if we can cover all the girls' games on the first night, but because we have some COVID issues ourselves right now, we're trying to get healthy and get ready for the season going too. But still, that's a week away, and hopefully we can get those worked out and get people to be able to get every game done. But it's tournament starts Tuesday. It's the Galen Berger All-State Holiday Hoops Classic. Starts 1:00 tomorrow. $5 to get in. $1.25 per game each day. That's pretty reasonable.
It is, and again, senior citizens and students under 18, we'll charge $3 for them to get in. I mean, we'll have a real great concession stand. So there'll be some hot food there for people if they want to stay for the whole day. And the thing, what's great about our tournament too, Steve, is that even though we get to play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the Metro tournament starts the following Tuesday. So there's not a lot of dead time that we have, like some APS schools. They haven't played for a couple of weeks, and sometimes that hurts when you have that long layoff. So that's why I like our tournament where it's at, because we're playing, and then we'll have a couple days, to get ready for the next one.
Hey, Wally, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show, and I know you're going to be busy, but also good luck this week.
Thank you, and we look forward to having you guys up there, and we appreciate, Steve, you bringing ProView to do our tournament. We look forward to seeing you guys for the next 3 days.
All right.
Take care.